When I started working on myself and doing my inner work process, I had the goal of becoming a better socializer, of having a greater, better social experience overall. So I figured that in order to have a great social experience, I need to feel good myself first of all, because moods are contagious. So if you feel good yourself, people around you are more likely to feel good as well. If you feel bad, people around you are more likely to feel bad as well. So, with this in mind, I ended up being in a very weird state where I would judge myself so harshly if I had worse days. So, for example, I had a day in which everything went horribly, and then I had a meeting afterwards. I was supposed to go out with some friends. In those moments, I ended up feeling not on my best, right? Not being able to be in the social flow state. And my mind was always bullying me. It was saying that you're not good enough if you're not able to show your best self. You are not good enough, and it's all your fault that you are not able to put these people in such a great mood. That was a horrible mistake I used to make. And now, the situations in which I don't feel at my best are handled extremely differently and much better. So now the social experiences in which I don't really feel at my best don't contain all that inner judgment anymore. But now you might think that, okay, so then you show people your worst moods, so then you have a worse social experience overall. Well, not necessarily, because this is not exactly how it works. Think about the previous example, my previous situation, how I treated my previous situation. I used to feel not so good, and then I used to judge myself for feeling not so good, which made me feel worse. And then I was upset that I felt worse, and I ended up feeling even worse. But I tried to put a mask of feeling good and of being happy. So people started sensing incongruencies in my behavior, in my mood overall. So that's even worse because people feel betrayed when you do that, because that's a sign of inauthenticity. But compare that with how I'm handling situations now, where when I feel like not on my best, I embrace that. And I'm like, okay, it's one of those days. Everyone has good days and everyone has bad days as well. And this is not my best day, but that's fine. That's perfectly fine. I don't have to judge myself for that. I know better days will come. I know this is not going to go on forever. So I just have to embrace it because I can't do anything else. I don't feel at my best, and that's fine. I accept that. What happens in that situation? Yeah, you are not as energetic. Yes, you are not popping jokes all over the place. You are not the center of attention. Yes, maybe you are more quiet. But the most important thing is that you are feeling good yourself. And you are feeling good yourself, so other people, the people around you, are also able to sense that you have a congruence in behavior, that you do accept yourself, the same way they are able to figure out and to sense the fact that you are not accepting yourself when you are trying to fight against your authenticity. Because the thing is, your authentic self has bad days as well. Your authentic self, and regardless of how much work and energy and money and time you put into working on yourself, you will still have bad days. You will still have moments in great days where you don't feel at your best, where you start feeling sad or angry, because our emotions are there for a reason. Emotions are valuable data. Emotions guide us. They serve as a compass in our world, in our lives, because they help us navigate through life. How would you be able to realize that somebody treated you horribly unless you got angry in the first place? Because anger is an emotion that gives you valuable data, that guides you, and they are useful. The negative emotions are useful, and the positive emotions are useful as well. It's this spectrum of emotions. All of them are guiding us. All of them are useful. And the negative ones shouldn't be ignored. And this is such a big problem in our world right now, because we are so conditioned to run away from the negative emotions and to always feel happy. This state is glorified, the state of always feeling happy. This is the ideal. But is that possible? No human being can achieve that. The best you can do, like if you put in all the work, if you max out your progress, you will get to the point where you still feel bad, But you don't feel bad about feeling bad. You accept feeling bad, and that's a great indicator of progress. Our greatest enemy in this pursuit is social media, because social media has two horrible traits, two extremely detrimental traits. The first one is that you see everyone showing their enlightened, enhanced 0.1% of their lives. You see your friends posting pictures and videos of them feeling the best they felt in years, possibly, and you think they feel like that all the time. So that reinforces you to think that you should also feel like that all the time, that you are lagging behind if you're not feeling like that all the time, that something is wrong. Then you also see the creators, maybe even this video, because the creators don't post videos in which they don't feel at their best, because we need to put a message out there, and in order for this message to resonate with people, we need a certain mood. Unless we are in that mood, we are not able to send the message properly. And it's not like these people don't feel bad. I feel bad as well. I have good days and I have bad days. I have good days in which I have moments where I feel bad. And every person is like that. Now, this is the initial brainwashing that makes you believe that you should only feel good. You should feel good and happy all the time. And then, when you have the negative emotions, when you are not in your greatest mood, you have access to very, very quick dopamine on your phone. All these social media apps and movies and reels and shorts and TikToks, they only make the situation worse because you have this very quick dopamine that numbs your negative feelings all the time, because you have the idea that you should feel good all the time. So unless you feel good, you seek feeling good, and your easiest source of feeling good of dopamine is your phone. So you end up wasting hours and hours and hours in, overindulging into reels and all that stuff, increasing your screen time so much. And in doing so, you only run away from your authenticity, basically. You run away from the part of you that has a worse experience, maybe just has negative states. Because you're like, negative states are unacceptable, positive states, come here. Hopefully, I've been able to convince you that the ideal life is one in which you don't feel bad about feeling bad. And hopefully you see that as the ideal now. Hopefully you see that as your goal now. Case in which I congratulate you and I wish you the best of luck.